Welcome back, everybody, to Mina the Hollower. That's a dead end. Go the other way. It's a house. It's a boss. It's a madhouse. Kind of reminds me of the house from Final Fantasy VII. I can't remember exactly what its name is. It's something like Crazy House or Monster House. And not quite to this level, but because it had more weapons and shit in it. It was more of a robot than a creature. I also can't stand the hitbox on these things. I don't know if you've noticed I was taking damage when I was behind him, even though I was technically not really in his space. It's just the space that he takes up on the screen is considered his hitbox. It's a little annoying. I think that was some pretty good damage. I wasn't really paying attention to how much it did. Looked impressive though. Not too difficult. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. The flying is gonna be a fucking obnoxious piece of shit. That was just a single hit. Man, you get to fly the whole time. One nice thing about a big hitbox is that means it also has a big box that I can hit. I know I've gone on and on about crash damage. Like, you know, the enemies are allowed to touch you, but you're not allowed to touch the enemies, sort of thing. And the only time that you are is usually when you're in some invincible state. I think I'm gonna die. Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, forgot I have that. Yes, I use. You know what I mean? I use all those. Okay. You're just gonna make the. They're gonna make the second half of this easy by dropping bombs and just let me wail on you. Ugh, them eyeballs. Up, up, up. Okay. Well, the eyeballs and the tongue are apparently our people. This game's weird. Thanks for freeing us from the house arrest. For helping, we'll lick you in on a good deal, see? Deals are tasty indeed here at the Madhouse. I got an oozing organ, a draining bestium, voltaic guard. These are all items. And then, of course, the key. I'm gonna want the key first, even though that $1,000 bones is a lot for a key. That's just the lantern we have already. So I'll have to come back and buy. We'll have to buy at least 2 of these. And we'll have to come back and buy the other ones later, maybe. Talk to the eyeballs. Denberg's seen hard times, but we keep our eyes on it together as a family. Sure, we may look funny, but in fact we come from a long line of true visionaries. There's something weird on the sign about the shop. I don't know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. It's they don't sell milk or something. They should probably turn around and back. Haven't you heard about the carving man? I have heard about the carving man. He carves up meat and serves it to the people at the deli. That was a bad joke. What am I thinking of? If you... Nah, I'm not gonna say that. That's rude. That seems pretty good, unless I want to equip the the vest. Got the extra vials on it. Extra defense is always good. Rest of this stuff I don't need right now. We can bring in the Thunder Guard if we run into thunder enemies, sort of like when we ran into fire stuff. We can equip the Fire Guard. Excuse me. I liked how the name of the two children in that house were Rodney, as in rods from your eyes, and Iris, like another eye pun. Game definitely has a little bit of the Deltarune and Undertale charm to it, you know, like Sans, written in Comic Sans, you know, in Papyrus, written in Papyrus fonts that is. I know that game goes a little deeper than just that, but bear with me. I don't want to talk about Deltarune any more than anyone else has in the last couple years. Hello, Mr. Pumpkin Man. Hi, I'm Gordon. I got a taste for anything that crosses my path. What are you tasting at the moment, Gordon? Tastes like normal old ground under me. Wish I had something spicy like bile or acid. Oh, that's not a body, that's just his tongue. It's holding up his... Okay. I sort of thought he was like wrapped in cloth or something. Yeah, but if you get that downward facing look, you can see he's just a tongue. Just walking across the ground on his tongue. Sounds terrible. Yes, I know there's an organ that leaves a ooze, i.e. bile, behind. Perhaps stomach acid, or whatever the difference is, I don't know. And I have to go equip it, because I can't automatically equip it. Bile. Feels like this might be a decent trinket to keep on all the time, but I don't know how much the bile, acid, whatever that is you're leaving behind, how much damage that does to enemies. I mean, even if it only just does like sort of a sliver of... What are you tasting at the moment? Acidity, electric, divine, bile burst up. Flavors are choosing exquisite. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude, or whatever he said. What else? I mean, even if the bile did like, you know, a sliver of the enemy boss's health, it would still be helpful in the, you know, the grand scheme of things. I gotta open that up, I guess. Come on, you can do it. Boom. All right. I'm gonna go on the other side and get the key. Do. That's a free. Well, that wasn't necessarily free, but that's pretty free current. I wish I'd taken more plasma vials, but you swear they're good for him. Can you do anything? I guess the guy got transmogrified into a monster. Use a vial to revive him? Oh. I guess vials... Well, I guess that patched up, but never did trust that plasma stuff. Oh. Boink, squish. Squeal. Oh. That was accidental. Doop. 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 Oh, that's nice. We're behind the train. Hello, Mr. Bone Guy, who I didn't fight last time, but I'm going to this time because you spew bones at me. And if I kill you enough, you'll spew all of your bones. Like that. Bones are good for me. See? They're used for leveling up. Alright, now I'm gonna have to do this. Because I destroyed all of my lanterns. Alright, well I guess I gotta come out from a different angle. That's a pile of leaves. Of all the pile of leaves in this game, that's the only pile of leaves that's alive, apparently. Accidentally found that out when I was looking up a some information on a trinket. Found out that the pile of leaves is important for getting a different trinket called Leaf, which is actually a pretty good trinket. We won't get it right now, we'll get it towards the end of the game. Been taken over by crows. Don't care about crows. I have to donate more bones to the cause. Like 10,000 bones or something. So, fine. Fine. Carman's a jack-o'-lanterns instead of hands. They say his hands gobble up children. Oh god, Squealer. What the fuck? I'm the leader. The plan is this. We split up. We see him. We'll hide until the others come. I'm not scared. What was that sound? I think he's very afraid. Scaredy cat. We're gonna catch the car man. No, we don't need an old bag's help. Good boy. Village ain't safe. Car man loose. They say they stop them, but they're just kids. Can't know what you're talking about. Guess that's what a car man's supposed to look like, but in like, what is it? What would that be, like 8-bit graphics? Hey, guy who looks like Link. Farmland looks dull back home. I remember you were running that training wheel until you collapsed. And I did push my heart too hard sometimes, just to break the boredom, you know? I don't like the bike. Go away, bike. I'm sure you're useful in some situations, but this is not one of them. Bone, bone, bone. Bone, bone, ba, bone. Bone, 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 ba, bone, ba, bone, bone. Bone, 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 ba, bone, ba, bone, bone. Nice. This here, which is an early bone dust shard. Bone dust. Alright, this must be a different area that I have to come at a different angle from. Or it locks me out and I see the button to unlock. Boom, 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 boom. I have another Clumpy D joke if you want to hear it. Oh my. They drew a picture of the carving man carving up the children. I love it. Like, we're gonna go capture the carving man, but first let's draw a picture of us getting killed by him. There's the joke. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice effect. I like that. Put the lights there in the background. Why is Mina bad at... why is Mina bad at telling jokes? Because she has to bone up on her delivery. Is that a bad one? Oh, that was a bad one. Hi, Mr. Crow. Scarecrow looks different. Let it down, yes. Yeah, so I thought I was a goner for sure. Tied me up there and put a mask on me. Bad because I didn't, because I'm bad. Don't deserve that fate. Thanks again for untying me. I'll go to Crowtown and it'll get you too. Okay. So you're a crow from Crowtown, I presume. But you're a good crow from Crowtown. Apparently the other crows, which are the bad crows, in, I guess your viewpoint, tied you up and to this pole like they're crucifying you. That's lovely. Oh no! Is this supposed to be like a raccoon or what? What is... I'm trying to think of something that would be very Halloween. Oh, unless of course that's a dude wearing a raccoon skin, then that would be kind of creepy. Hopefully you saw that, the same thing I saw. Alright, all for the greater bone good. But like, when he like kind of sat up and wasn't on all fours, it looks like he like took, like there's a human in there, inside the mouth of that raccoon, tanuki, red panda, whatever it is. Well, I don't like this. However, I think these guys might be floating close to the ground, so I might be able to hit them without jumping. But they're unaffected by bile. Dead. Nice. Well, this is lovely. I like how one of the pumpkins is not actually a pumpkin, but is an enemy. Nice. Alright, let's heal. I know I don't have any more heals left after that, but like, at least give me something, you know? Alright, we're gonna go underneath this thing, hopefully not fall down. That's okay. Yeah, it's better. What's this? We're on the other side of the gate now. The fence, that is. Nice. Over to the other side. Try again, Chris. Let's not fall in. Good. Get the bones. I know we're nowhere close to, well, I was gonna say, I know we're nowhere close to level up right now, but, nice. Stone shards are good. Making good progress now. These must be the evil crows. God. You ever like think back on a time of like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I want to say a time when it was like tougher, but you look back on it like 5 or so years later and you just sort of like, it was a good time, you know? Even though things were tough, things were good, you know? I don't know if that's a nostalgia thing or it was the fact that maybe I was a little bit more connected to people at that point. Not that I'm really disconnected from people, it's just, you know, when you get, you use this as this is a bit of an excuse, I'm gonna admit to you. But when you get to a certain age, like all of a sudden your life becomes about work and, you know, whatever other responsibilities you have. So say you have a dog, your responsibility is to take care of that dog. You have kids, your responsibility is to take care of the kids, you know. You have a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know, your responsibility, if you want to keep them, that is to nurture and, you know, take care of those things, you know, spend time with those people. And so because you're working and spending time with your loved ones and you might have responsibilities, like I said, like kids or pets, you have less time to, you know, get together with friends, you know. And I don't know. I'm sort of thinking off the top of my head right here, but if I were to tell you, you know, like, many people probably already have this in their brains because they're not, you know, they don't think like I do, obviously, so they're a lot better adjusted or equipped to this, to being a more social person. But when I was in like my mid-20s, we had a weekly meetup where we would, and again, this, I keep distracting from the point, but you know, I'm a person who likes to think. You know, I like to think and discuss big ideas. So for a while there, I was part of a like a small men's group where we sat around and we discussed like religion and philosophy for a bit. And I don't know, I feel like it was a good thing. I wasn't really a big fan when we decided, and well, other things changed in my life where all of a sudden I had a job, a part-time job, which felt more like a full-time job because I was working like 35 hours a week. But in doing so, fuck this platforming shit. In doing so, I was working 6 days a week, at least initially. So like, okay, yeah, you're working a couple hours every day, except for one day of the week. But it's like, I don't want to be, you know, boy, this gets into a deeper conversation I'm not going to get into, but like, how many days of the week do you want to just be sort of sitting around waiting for, you know, waiting to go to work or coming home after work and just being like, yep, my day got eaten up. Like, well, it can't be that bad. Well, it, you know, really wasn't. But, you know, if I said to you, okay, you'd have to drive to work every day, Monday through Friday, or, you know, Sunday through Saturday, and we're only going to work you 4 hours every day, or what would that be? 4 times 7 would be what? 30, I can't do math in my head right now. 24, 28 hours, that's not enough hours. Well, anyways, let's say you're working close to a 40-hour work week, okay? But you have to drive to work every day, okay? You're still, again, driving to work every day, so you're spending money on gas to get your ass to work. And you're there every day, so you don't really have like a quote-unquote day of rest. Okay, but you're not working, you know, an 8-hour day every day, you know. sort of like if you went to a 4-day work week and you kept the same number of hours, which is 40 hours, you would have to work 4 10-hour days, but then you'd have 3 days off. And the question is, would that be more satisfying than, you know, only, you know, working 5 days a week for 8 hours, you know? And I can understand sort of both situations, because a whole nother day off is great, plus not having to drive and spend gasoline to get there, you know, for an extra 2 hours of work every day. But one of the things that I've discovered, at least from working, you know, working a 12-hour shift, is particularly if you're busy, and this is sort of the key here, is if you're actually busy, you start to hollow out. I mean, your brain stops working at a certain point because you've worked so long that your brain just sort of gives up and like shuts off. And at least for me, anyways. So, you know, if you're working, we're talking retail here, working straight, you know, 8 hours, you get obviously your breaks. But like when you hit that 10-hour mark and you've taken your, you know, your 1 lunch and your 2 15-minute breaks, you're gonna start hitting a proverbial wall because you've been there too long. All right. So I'm pretty sure you can see what you need to do, but this is going to be a timing thing more than anything. Now, when I say this is going to be a timing thing, again, this assumes that you have no trinkets that help you out in this situation. So, also making this jump is going to be a bit annoying because it keeps wanting to send me over the thing, when in reality I just kind of want to go diagonal. So I'm going to die again. This is not the game's strong point, and we're really pushing this puzzle platforming to its, maybe not its limit, but we're getting close to, like, I don't want to do this anymore. All the way back to start, Chris. Anyhow. Do I have any trinkets that can help me out? Oregon's not going to help me out. The little fly thing can help. Fairy wisp, that's helpful. The other thing that could be helpful, though I don't know how helpful it would be the life ring, the lifesaver, if you will. Which hilariously, when I was a little kid, they, you know, pools and that still had life-saving rings. Now they're all like this, plank, you know. Die.